you to Vandergraaf for sponsoring this Road to Recovery video. Visit their website to learn how the Grizzly Drive drum motor increases the reliability and reduces the cost of ownership of conveyor systems.
Hey again, I'm Kevin Yannick with Pit and Quarry Magazine, and I'm pleased to be joined today by Mike Ireland of PCA. Mike, thanks for joining me today.
Thanks for letting me be here.
Well, Mike, it's kind of an exciting time for the construction materials industry as we've got some developments, some encouraging developments on an infrastructure bill. We've seen the president, his administration come forward with a proposal, and more recently, a group of Senate Republicans have come out with their counter offer of sorts. I know you put an initial statement out there on behalf of the Portland Cement Association, but I'm wondering at this stage, how are you feeling about where things are at? Are you encouraged? Are you discouraged? Where do you come down on where we are with getting an infrastructure bill passed?
Well, you know, as a CEO of a construction materials organization, you're always supposed to be encouraged, right? But I truly am encouraged. We've gone through many iterations of this. We had almost every week being Infrastructure Week over the past several years. Now we're seeing almost every day is Infrastructure Day, not a planned day, but there's a lot of talk about infrastructure. We just wrapped up our cement and concrete fly-in, and almost everyone we talked to supported moving forward some way on infrastructure. Obviously, President Biden's American Jobs Plan, as you stated, the Senate Republicans have a roadmap to improve our nation's infrastructure. The House and Senate committees are looking to consider transportation infrastructure bills in May. Speaker Pelosi is committed to bring an infrastructure package to the floor for a vote by July 4th. It's kind of hard not to see something in infrastructure not getting done, right? I'm very hopeful, and again, as we talk to people, they were hopeful too. Of course, there's a lot of questions and in the usual complications. Right now, a lot of the discussion is it going to be bipartisan? And if it is bipartisan, it's likely to more focus on traditional infrastructure, right? Roads, bridges, water systems, lock dams, airport, rail, broadband, those type of things that are traditional. But if the Democrats go the route of moving towards a more partisan infrastructure package, particularly using reconciliation, what will that package look like? We obviously have a feel for how that looks. Look, none of us right now go and buy a house or go and buy a car paying full price, right? Joe Biden's kind of an old school guy. He's talked a lot about trying to move people together and get things done. I have a feeling, I have a hope that we will negotiate and find something in the middle. But if it is a reconciliation process, will it be more climate focused? We think it probably will be. For us, it's not something that scares us too much. We've already, as an industry, done a lot to reduce our carbon footprint. We have now released an ambition statement for the industry. It's not a pie in the sky ambition statement. It's a realistic ambition statement to be carbon neutral by 2050 across the value chain. We're in the final phases of our roadmap development, which looks at 5 different levers to get us there. It is doable, but it's not doable without the help of the government. Again, if it's a Democratic only proposition, it will probably be a much broader definition of visual infrastructure to include human infrastructure. But of course, the whole issue in all of this, and I think the thing that is the political football that always kind of puts this at a stop, is how will we get paid for? The business community has a lot of concerns about the call to increase corporate taxes, those taxes that were dropped during the Trump administration. We've always been talking back and forth about the gas tax or some type of user fee. Will it be one or the other? Obviously, the Republicans, I think, would prefer that it's the gas tax or some type of user fee, or probably a private partnership might be a way to go. I'm tending to think that there may be some somewhere in the middle that they agree to. They may use the tax, corporate tax increase, but perhaps not as high as Biden's asking for, maybe a few percentage points higher. We'll see. It's always the thing that holds everything up is the pay for. But I think there's enough momentum and enough desire to get it done. Look, 80% of people want this done, and I think both sides need to see this done. I don't think this is like many things in DC, that's a win-lose proposition. This has to be a win-win proposition with no losers. There may be some accommodations, but I think they can get there. Our hope from PCA is that there is a bipartisan infrastructure bill with particular focus on reauthorizing federal service transportation and water infrastructure programs. And the main reason, I mean, yes, we would all love to see bipartisanship rule, but the other reason is we don't want to be this part of the pendulum where every 2 to 4 years something that gets passed is rescinded and we don't have it anymore. We want this to be bipartisan so it's long lasting. We're working with our colleagues at the U.S. Chamber, the TCC, the Highway Materials Group, including with NSSGA, in taking that message to Capitol Hill.
Thank you to Vandergraaf for sponsoring this Road to Recovery video. Visit their website to learn how the Grizzly Drive drum motor increases the reliability and reduces the cost of ownership of conveyor systems.